Hi everyone! Today, my groupmates and I are excited to take you on a deep cultural dive into one of the most fascinating countries that may seem quiet from the outside, but holds so much debt on the inside. You probably know it for its Alps, chocolates, watches, or maybe its neutral stance in global politics. Can you guess what it is? So, presenting Switzerland. But today we'll go beyond all those cliches and show you what truly makes Swiss society tick.
Our goal? To show that Switzerland is more than just neutral. It's a culture built on cooperation, quiet innovation, and a deep belief in trust, order, and self governance. We want to break the stereotype that the Swiss are just quiet rule followers. What we'll show today is how their surface behaviors reveal deep, powerful beliefs about how to live together in harmony, even across languages, regions, and ideologies.
Let's talk about what we can easily observe. These are the fun, quirky, and interesting things that tell us a lot about how the Swiss live their everyday lives. So, first, family life. The Swiss tend to marry and have kids much later than many other Europeans. On average, women have their first child at 30 years old, the highest in Europe. This reflects their value for education, career stability, and the well thought out life choices before starting a family. Now let's talk about food. And yes, the rumors are true. Switzerland is obsessed with chocolate and cheese, and for good reason. Swiss chocolate is famous not just for taste, but for quality. Big names like Lindt, Toblerone, and Nestle all originated here. The Swiss even consume more chocolate per person than almost any other country in the world. As for cheese, they have hundreds of local varieties like Gruyere, Emmental, and Raclette, and are deeply tied to Swiss identity. Many of these cheeses are made from milk produced by cows in the Alps, following traditional methods passed down for centuries.
And then there are the watches. This all started back in the 1500s in Calvinist Geneva, where making jewelry was banned for being too flashy, so the goldsmiths got creative and turned to crafting watches, which were both useful and acceptable. Fast forward, and today, Swiss watches are known worldwide for precision, craftsmanship, and timeless style. Think about Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Swatch, all born in Switzerland. Now for something really fun, Fastnacht. This is Switzerland's version of Carnival, held before Lent, and the most famous one happens in Basel. People wear elaborate masks and costumes, parade through the streets at 4 a.m., and play piccolos and drums. It is more than a party. It is also a way to poke fun at politics and society through art, music, and satire. It shows that the Swiss aren't always serious. They also know how to celebrate and reflect too. Another beloved tradition is Alpapart, the descent of the cows. Every autumn, farmers decorate their cows with flowers and bells and lead them down from the alpine pastures to the valleys. This isn't just cute, it is a celebration of seasonal agriculture, the end of summer grazing, and the chance of communities to come together. Farmers wear traditional outfits, there's music, and lots of food. Now, here's a surprising fact. Switzerland has one of the highest gun ownership rates among developed countries, but also one of the lowest crime rates. That is because of mandatory military service, where men are trained and then keep their weapons at home, but without ammunition. This system works because of deep trust between the government and its citizens. Switzerland is also a global hub for science and innovation. It is the home of CERN, the world's top particle physics lab, where the World Wide Web was actually invented. From pharmaceuticals to clean energy, and biotech, the Swiss are known for combining precision with innovation. One more surprising and controversial fact is that Switzerland's assisted suicide is legal under very strict rules. People from other countries even travel there for what is called suicide tourism. While controversial, it reflects how the Swiss deeply respect individual autonomy and choice, especially regarding death with dignity. So yes, at first glance, Switzerland looks like this peaceful, organized, almost picture-perfect society, but these visible practices are rooted in something deeper: their environment, history, values, and worldview.
Switzerland's geography explains a lot. Centuries ago, isolated alpine valleys forced small villages to rely on each other. This created a culture of cooperation, local autonomy, and shared resources, which still exists today in their communes. In fact, citizenship is granted by the commune first, not the country. Their belief in subsidiarity, that decisions should be made as close to the people as possible, comes from this very setup. Even their cities, like Lucerne and Bern, were designed around rivers and mountains, not over them. They build with the land, not against it.
One-third of Switzerland's land is used for agriculture, even though the term isn't always ideal. Why? Because farming is more than just economic, it's cultural. Seasonal transhumance moving livestock up and down the mountains is still practiced. Dairy farms produce cheese, central to their cuisines and exports. Forests are protected by law to prevent avalanches and preserve water systems. The government even pays farmers for protecting biodiversity and traditional landscapes, not just for producing food. Switzerland lacks natural resources, so they build a knowledge-based economy. Instead of quantity, they focus on precisions, specializations, trust, and quality. Companies like Nestle, Logitech, and Swatch aren't just famous. They're built on long-term thinking, reliability, and discretion. Even their hydroelectric system is genius, using the Alps for sustainable power.
Switzerland is a federal direct democracy, and it's very participatory. Citizens vote on issues multiple times a year. Over half of the world's referenda happen in Switzerland. All federal laws go through multi-language negotiations, and policies must reflect both majority votes and cantonal autonomy. This protects minority voices, regional identities, and collective decision-making. Even the president changes every year. It's not about ego, but shared responsibility. When it comes to religion, the Swiss were very deeply shaped by Calvinist Protestantism, which discouraged luxury and emphasized discipline. That's why watchmaking started. Calvinists couldn't make jewelry, so they made functional timepieces. Today, religion still influences attitudes toward work, rest, like silent Sundays, and personal responsibility. Whether political or spiritual, Switzerland runs on the belief that individual freedom must align with the good of the community.
Now, about the neutrality, probably the most well-known fact about Switzerland, but neutrality isn't passivity. It is a deep cultural principle rooted in their history of internal religious and linguistic divides, a desire to protect their diversity and independence, their belief in mediation, not domination. They're not in the EU, but still trade heavily with Europe. They host international peace talks, yet maintain their own policies and identity. Even their militia system, where citizens keep military rifles at home, reflects trust, preparedness, and civic responsibility. Neutrality isn't hiding, it's choosing peace through strength
dialogue, and self discipline.